Hello and welcome to a very special episode during this pandemic time where everybody is locked down. Well, even the artists are. We've spoken to a lot of people across fields here in Goa, just knowing the situation that they are going through. But what are the artists doing? We have a very international acclaimed artist with us, none other than Remo Fernandes. And I would like to know what is he doing? What are his thoughts about the pandemic that he's locked down in his house here in the beautiful place of Shivoli. Remo, hi, how are you doing?
Hi Rohit, very nice to speak to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Okay.
You don't seem to be locked down. You're traveling between the house and your studio, are you?
Yeah, we are stuck here in this studio managing the entire content. Remo, I'd like to know one important thing is this is a very challenging time for the entire world. How do you look to this particular situation?
Well, Rohit, I heard you saying that everybody's locked down and facing a difficult time. But I must tell you that as an artist, in fact, my life has not changed a lot because I'm very happy being at home under so-called normal times. I'm at home, and as long as I have access to my studio and to the computer in my study where I do my writing and my Photoshop and video editing, I'm a very, very happy man. Except maybe to go out to restaurants sometimes and seeing some friends and family. I'm not really the outing type. So this lockdown, it suits me absolutely fine, actually.
Okay, how do you see the world is facing this pandemic? A lot of challenges that the world is facing as of now. How do you see the world, especially these beautiful places, especially here in Europe as well as US? That's the next hot spot that has happened. And also, how do you see situation here in Goa because you are based in Goa as of now?
Yeah. Well, worldwide, I think it's something that we are living through, which none of us who are alive at this moment are ever going to forget for the rest of our lives. But I think that we are very lucky that we are not living through a war, for example. All we have to do to be safe is to stay at home.
Yeah.
Whereas during a war, it doesn't matter where you are. You don't know when the next bomb is going to drop on your house, whether you're in your bed or wherever. So I think it's a pretty easy time that we're going through actually with this pandemic. Most of us, okay, let me specify that. Because people like our daily wage earners who have had to walk for days to their house, to their hometowns with their children, I cannot speak for them when I say that it's a pretty easy time that we are having. We are the privileged ones. And all we have to do is stay at home. And even that, many of us cannot manage. Not only here, but I see videos in America where people are fighting for their right to go out. Women are fighting cops about their right to go and get their hair done. Can you imagine, man?
Yeah.
I think they need some of our, some of our lathi building cops. We should export some to the US. Really, really.
Okay, well, you mentioned while answering the first question is you said war, and we'll come to the business part of it. You've come up with the song "When Will You Learn a Man," and you also speak in the song that is World War I, World War II, and this could be the World War III. Now, everybody is excited to know more about this particular song that you've written and composed and sung as well.
Well, you just want me to talk about the song, okay?
Yes.
The song is, as you've heard it, the first verse is a very international, it's a verse, which has got, worldwide, topicality, if I may use the word. As in it's, it says, they say that we will learn a lot from this pandemic and that we will become better human beings, we'll treat each other and our planet better. But I ask this question, what have we learned from World War I? What have we learned from World War II? Whatever have we learned from the Black Plague and the Spanish flu? Now, all these things did not, really affect India and Goa directly as much.
Yeah.
This is obviously, with international, topicality that I'm asking this question, because the West especially has gone overdrive into consumerism. So are we doing, following them. overproducing, over-tempting people to buy what they don't need, to take holidays that they don't really require, and being herded like sheep and cattle into package flights and into hotels, to go for 2 weeks here and there and everywhere in the world, polluting our skies, polluting the whole thing, doing things and spending money that we don't need to spend. It's only now that we are realizing how much we really need to spend, or how much how little we really need in order to live and to be happy. It's only now that we realize. But will we remember this once the pandemic is over, or will we go back to overdrive?
Or routine.
Yes, into consumerism.
Yeah.
Into buying more than we need, into spending more than we need, because we'll be tempted to buy more because the manufacturers want to sell more.
True.
So they tempt us to buy more, and they produce things that we don't need. They use advertising to tempt us into thinking that we require them. I have an iPhone 7, 7 Plus, which I bought 2 or 3 years ago. And I have not been tempted by Apple to buy the 8
upgrade it.
and the 10 and the iPhone X. I will buy my next phone only when this one gives way, either the battery gives way or something gives way. But we have been tempted into thinking that we have to get the latest model in everything. Is my image all right? I can see some sun.
Yeah, basically your songs have always, traveled across
And
bounds.
Excuse me for interrupting you. You also asked me about the pandemic effect in Goa.
Yeah.
I would like to say, because I've said this in public on Facebook right on the first day of the lockdown, my congratulations to the government of Goa and of India. I was really surprised. I did not expect, because it takes guts, to exercise the lockdown, especially in a country of the size of India. I was really impressed when they announced the lockdown. I immediately wrote on Facebook, congratulations, for having taken this tough decision. It's not an easy decision.
Yeah.
And I like the way that it was phased out, because we would go absolutely ballistic. The Indian people would go mad if we were told on day one there's going to be a lockdown for a month. But so, they did it very wisely. They announced a lockdown for 1 day, then they increased it for 3 days, then increased it. And if they had given us 1 or 2 days before announcing it, there would be panic buying. There would be all sorts of things. I think it was done beautifully. I think it was done very efficiently. So my hat off, though I don't wear a hat, my hat off to the governments of Goa and of India for that.
Okay. Speaking about the song, Remo, your songs have always traveled boundaries. This song has already been on the YouTube. Many people are speaking about it. You have already been interviewed by many nationally as well. How has been the response for this song?
It has been amazing. It was released just yesterday morning, and it has almost reached 50,000.
Yeah,
which I know is not a lot, compared to the number of views that a sexy item song gets, from Bollywood. But then the serious message song, and it's in English.
Yeah.
So 50,000 in 24 hours is hell of a lot. And I'm very happy. I mean, I didn't expect this. It was just feelings and thoughts from inside, which I had to let out. So I just, went to the studio and I recorded it. Although, like I said, I had no intention to record a song on COVID-19 because there were simply too many songs saying stay at home and wash your hands. And I didn't want to write, yet another song. I was inspired to write the song when I was reading posts about how COVID-19 was supposed to turn us into better human beings. And that set me thinking, really? Have we learned anything from past experiences? And that became the topic of my song. And the main topic is actually that the answer is love. Love has become such a cliche. None of us can really understand or accept, when somebody today says the answer is love. And yet, we all profess to love our religions, and every religion says that the answer is love. It has been said for thousands of years. And today, that is seen as a cliche that nobody wants to accept or follow. Today the answer is power. The answer is money. The answer is consumerism. The answer is fame and fortune. But it's not. And this pandemic is teaching us that yet again. The answer is love, love, love is what the chorus says. If you want to save ourselves, if the human being wants to save humanity,
Yeah.
the answer is love. And I don't mean love like, oh, I love you, you love me, not that kind of the superficial love. I'm talking about the love of one community for another community, of one race for another race. There's so much racism going on all over the world. It's not just about India, it's about the world. It's about America. It's about Trump saying, drive out the Mexicans and the Arabs and blah, blah, blah. It's
He's
all
also
about
saying the
hatred.
Chinese virus.
The Chinese virus now. And it's all about all these things. It's about love between the government of a country and the people of a country, our government working with love for its people, irrespective of their ethnicity, about working with love for the land itself. It's about our industrialists feeling love for our planet and not depleting our forests and polluting our rivers just to produce stuff that we don't need. So the answer really is love. So that's what I'm trying to say in this song.
Okay, but also we see a lot of celebrities teaching and preaching us, to wash our hands and stuff like that. That's this typical promotion that they usually do. From with this song has explored a different side to it. What have we learned from World War I, II, and a lot of flus that have happened, a lot of pandemics that has happened? The reason, or maybe the savior, is, as you say, is love. As an artist, Remo, how do you see this changing? Obviously, gradually. How can you push people? Because the success, if this lockdown is successful, it's because of the people, it's because of the constituents, not because of ABC leader or ABC party. How do you make every person accountable for changing this world and making it a beautiful place to live?
It's not only up to the people, I'm afraid. It's very much up to the leadership in the world. It's very much up to the world leaders not succumbing to the pressures from industrialists and business people who will want to go back to making too much money. They are making simply too much. A few are making too much money. I know that this sounds like a very socialism and communism oriented kind of vein of thinking, but it's not. It's really about that. It's about a handful of people wanting to make so much money that they are ready to destroy our planet for that, while the rest of the people are working 9 to 5 every day, with just enough money to buy a home and take a holiday sometimes and survive. And most of us not earn that much money. So this unnecessary consumerism has to stop, and that has to stop not just from the people. Like it's so easy for everybody to say that we should not use plastic. You tell me, can you avoid using plastic? You go to a supermarket, is there anything that is not wrapped up in plastic?
True.
And we are made to feel guilty about using plastic? Really? The governments of the world, are they going to stop Coca-Cola from selling in plastic bottles?
Yeah.
Are they going to stop Nike shoes from being wrapped in plastic when they sell them? Those cardboard boxes are lined with plastic. When the governments of the world stop these mega industries from using plastic, then they can show us that they are sincere about about stopping plastic. And not put the onus on us, man. How can we avoid using plastic? When I go to a supermarket in Portugal, even if I buy one banana, I have to put it in a plastic bag.
Okay.
And I have to wait in a machine. I have to get a sticker from the machine. I have to stick it on the plastic bag and buy it. So when they can stop those things, they can tell us not to use plastic, but not make us feel guilty. They don't.
Yeah.
You know,
the change has to come from the people, and as well as from the top leadership as well.
Yeah, from the leaders and the manufacturers and the people who are influencing the government. Stop putting all the responsibility on us, people.
So basically, you're saying in this challenging time, we should avoid blame game situation and stand united together for any adversaries that are there to come in future.
Absolutely. But also, you just said that it's the people's mentality that will stop the spread of the thing. I think it was not that. If the people had been left to themselves over here in India, for example, because I'm here right now, if the people had left to themselves with requests not to intermingle socially, that would not have worked, because you saw the number of people outside. It's because the government has taken a tough stand on that, with police with lathis. It's a sad thing that people have to be forced with a lathi to stay at home. Okay, some cops have abused it and used it on poor migrant laborers who were walking home. That was horrible to see. But but the normal people here in Goa, the things that when we see one basket of fish, being put up in a market, we all become cats. We all rush to the basket, meow, meow, meow. We're all fighting for the best fish in the basket. Social distancing forgotten in 5 seconds. It's only when the cop arrives and lathi charges not only the people but also the fish seller. Only then we
so basically we learn the hard way. The hard way.
Yeah, okay. And all over the world, all over the world.
Yeah.
People think, oh, in Europe, those people are so clean. Those people are they don't throw garbage everywhere. They don't, they respect laws. But is there any difference in their DNA and our DNA? No. The difference is that they have a man with a stick behind them. They have order. They've been taught order right from the beginning. If anybody does not follow the rule, they are fined. They are put in jail. That is the difference. So we all need some discipline in life. I'm a firm believer in that.
Okay. We see a lot of pictures these days during the lockdown of Mother Nature, some mountains, rivers, before and after. It's also said on social media, and nature has got an opportunity to heal itself from the human race because of this pandemic. Now, in your music video also, you have featured your house, which is in a beautiful scenic place called Surely. How do you look at this particular scenario? Has the nature got an opportunity to heal itself?
Absolutely, absolutely. I can hear birds which I have not heard before. And one thing that is to happen here, as a Goan, you will be aware of this. You must have been exposed to this. Monkeys have started coming down from the natural habitats, which are the hills, and they've been coming, and the forests, and they've been coming down, jumping on our houses, on our roofs, especially the roofs in the villages, which are tiled roofs still. They break the tiles, they break the tiles because they are hungry. They are hungry. We are taking over the natural habitats. Do you know something? From day one of the lockdown, no monkey has come into my garden. It was a daily occurrence. Monkeys coming in droves, in groups, families of 5, 6, jumping on the roof and breaking tiles. From day one of the lockdown, they've stopped because finally they've got peace on their hills. The sky is clearer, but that, of course, we don't feel that so much in Goa. But in a city which is used to having hundreds of flights taking off and landing every day, thousands of cars in the streets every day, there you will really see the difference much more clearly than here. I mean, we have seen photographs of the canals in Venice, dolphins in those canals. I can't believe it's so beautiful to see all that. Because this kind of photograph should make us realize that the world belongs to all of us, that they are fellow creatures. We are just one of the creatures on this planet. We are not the masters. Just because we can subjugate and kill all the other, we have invented weapons and the instruments in order to subjugate and kill all the other species, does not make us the masters, man. Does not make us masters. We should remember that.
Okay, Remo, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. It's always a pleasure to hear you. There are a lot of stories that you with the songs that you've composed, you've sung, right from Hindi music to the kind of English genre that you always sing in. If you can sing this song that you have written, composed, and song based on Corona pandemic, that is "When Will You Learn, Man." If I can have few lines of you singing, I'm sure all my viewers would be grooving to it.
They say when this is over, we'll all have learned our lesson. They say when this is over, our selfishness little lesson. But hey, what have we learned from World War One? And hey, whatever have we learned from World War Two? And from the Black Plague and the Spanish flu? From the air, the earth and sea, we're out on a killing spree, rushing to go right back into World War III. What will you learn, man? When will you learn, man? It's only love, love, love that will save your clan. When will you learn, man? When will you learn, man? It's only love, 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 not your greedy power plan. As you can see, it's a new song I just wrote, so I forgot a couple of words here and there. But
No
yeah,
problem.
that's the gist. But do play the video, please.
Definitely,
okay?
definitely.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Remo Fernandes live and exclusively singing the latest song composed by him, sung by him. Ladies and gentlemen, Remo, I'd like to just end this entire interview. The words from your song, that is, it's only love, love, love that will save us all. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this particular program. Remo, it was indeed a pleasure. What can I say? Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
To you too, and the Prudent Media.
Yeah, enjoy the song and keep on watching Prudent. Thank you.